Hey guys, in today's video, we are going to the birthplace of jazz, NOLA, New Orleans. There's so many different ways that people pronounce it. We're going to Louisiana. The city of New Orleans has something for everyone, and it's great for solo travelers. Before you go to Bourbon Street, let's talk about the airport options. When you are arriving to Louis Armstrong Airport, depending on the time of the year that you go, it can get busy. So you want to maybe schedule your flights to arrive earlier in the day. That way you can hopefully avoid cancellations. Once you've landed or even prior, you want to make sure that you grab a Jazzy Pass. With the Jazzy Pass, you get unlimited rides on the buses and the streetcars throughout your stay. It's a really, really great deal. I highly recommend it. Now, there are different prices for the Jazzy Pass. You can get a Jazzy one-day pass. That's going to be $3. Most opt to get the 3-day Jazzy Pass, which goes for $8. Not bad at all. If you're there longer, you can get the 7-day pass, which is $15. Of course, if you're there a month, they have the 31-day pass, which is $45. So you can take your pick. Of course, you can use Uber Lyft. I've heard some people talk about during Essence Fest, getting Ubers to go from the airport to the city is going to be like $100 one way, so it can get sky high. Save your money, arrive early, and that'll give you ample time to use the public transport that they have, and you can access that with the Jazzy Pass. These allow you to travel on not only the buses and the streetcars, but also the ferries. And if you just want a ball shot call, you can always catch Uber and Lyft. They are readily available around the airport. New Orleans has a plethora of options for you to choose from when it comes to accommodation. I'm going to give you some hostels. You want to look into staying at the India House Backpackers Hostel. There is also High New Orleans. Remember in my San Francisco video, I was talking about the High brand. They have locations all over the US. You can stay there. They have dorms and private rooms. With the High, the prices are kind of high. So they're very high, in fact, for a dorm. It might be running you around 60, 70 per night. So I don't know what your budget is, but here are some other affordable options. We have the Quisby Hostel. They offer dorms as well. You can even look into the Auberge NOLA. All of these are great location, affordable prices except for High, and you're going to be able to get a lot of bang for your buck. India House is located in the Mid-City area. Quisby is in the Garden District. I was able to tour through the Garden District on the trolley, but I really didn't get to explore. If you stay at the Quisby, you'll be able to get out and about in that area. It's really, really beautiful over there. All of these can be found on Google. The first three I mentioned, you can look at Hostel World and go into more detail if you're looking for reviews. Keep your valuables secure. We all know about that. In your room where you're staying, if you're in a hotel, you might have access to a safe. With me, I told you before, I'm more trusting in those dorms. I really just pack light anyways, and then I have a bag on me with my money, cards, whatever. So I don't have my things in a safe locked up. Most of the time it's not. Hostels don't have safes. Like they do have lockers with locks though. When I went to NOLA, I stayed in an Airbnb. It was away from all the hustle bustle and all the noise. And it was further out though. So I did end up taking the bus all the way to Canal Street and then I could move around. Some of you might want to be closer to the action, especially if you're there for Essence Fest, Mardi Gras. So again, it depends. If you're traveling on a budget, I would recommend these hostels. Airbnb, you want to make sure you have the communication through the app. This place was very nice. He had a couple of dogs. If you are not fond of dogs, cats, pets, you want to read the description of the Airbnb listing. That way you'll know ahead of time if this is something that you are going to want. A lot of them have the keypad entry so you can easily get into the Airbnb. He was nice because he actually had my name on the door. I was able to use the kitchen. He had a TV. I think there were other guests there. I can't recall, but most people there, they're going in and out. I really thought his place was enjoyable. But yes, there are hotels. I'm not really reviewing that in this video, but you can go to Google and look up best hotels for New Orleans and you will see the list. Now let's talk about things to do. It's a long list. New Orleans, the Big Easy, has so much for you to do. I'm going to start out with the free walking tours. I highly recommend them. I did the French Quarter walking tour. We started out in Jackson Square, but the cathedral is open from 9 to 4 daily. And these guides, you pay at the end, pay as you will. And they really give a lot of detail about the city, the historic neighborhoods. There are state museums. You're going to see vendors. It's just a lively area. You can ride in the horse and carriage, all of the architecture. It's a really great tour. You also can look into the Treme walking tour. Treme is known to be the oldest historically Black neighborhood in New Orleans. I'm going to give you the guy's Instagram if you're looking to learn more about the Black experience, where I've got it from Airbnb experiences. I remember when I spoke with him where he said, people, they come in to party, have fun, Mardi Gras, Essence Fest, all of that, but no one, or no, I'm not going to say no one, because some people are learning about the culture and the people, but he said, a lot of times these tours aren't booking up because people just want to go there for the turn up. They don't want to learn specifically about us. So if you have time into your schedule, I know it can be jam-packed with endless activities in New Orleans, at least try to visit some of the neighborhoods if that's your preference. Each traveler is going for different purposes, but I do recommend the Treme walking tour. When I come back, I want to ask the tour guide, I really want to check out the second line. I think that's going to be cool. This is one of the top cities just for tours alone. There's Segway tours, culinary tours, the Garden District tours, right? Plantation tours, if you're into that. The plantation tours are not in the city. It's a little further out, maybe an hour. Again, if you're into looking at plantations, you can do that in New Orleans as well. They also have Mardi Gras tours. A lot of people like those. Those are popular. If you're trying to get a popular tour, you want to book ahead of time. That way, when you're there, you already have your reservation. You can also check out swamp tours, cemetery tours. I mean, the list goes on and on. If you're doing the cemetery tours, you're going to get to learn the famous people who are buried in these interesting above ground burial sites. Like, this city always has something to do. It's not one of those places where you're just sitting up in your room. There is the Hurricane Katrina Rebirth, where they have revamped those locations where it was hit hard by the hurricane in 2005. Let's talk about Bourbon Street and Frenchman Street. I prefer Frenchman Street. I did go in the daytime, took a few pictures, but at night, I enjoyed Frenchman Street better. You're going to have lively music playing in all of the clubs. The city is famous for its Mardi Gras season each year. The parades, the costumes, the street parties. I have never been to Mardi Gras. I've never been to Essence Fest. It's like, what am I doing? Too busy traveling over the seas. But I do need to appreciate more that my own country has. Louisiana, New Orleans is one of those cities that I'm going to explore more in the future. And of course, you can check out the jazz. I said it's the birthplace. New Orleans is the birthplace of jazz. So, of course, you want to go listen to it. Another thing to do is people watch. In Jackson Square, of course, Bourbon Street, Frenchman Street, there's always sometimes people under the influence or highly inebriated. You're going to see lots of things. Make sure that you are being safe, and you want to keep an eye on your belongings. I wouldn't bring that much on me, as far as bags or crossbodies. I don't even believe I used a money belt. I don't think there are many pickpockets in New Orleans. I was just walking around freely with a purse, but I think you're good with just a handbag. Men, have your wallet. It was pretty safe. Those tourist areas, nobody's really snatching wallets. Go Saints. Those of you who are fans of the football team, you can go see a game. What else we got? I think Juneteenth would be a good time to go. Also check out their Caribbean Carnival. If you're looking for more information, check out visitneworleans.com or freewalkingtours.com. It sounds like I say that for every city in the US, but the food is delicious here. I'm vegetarian, you guys know that, and I did not run out of options. I would really recommend you come here on a vegetarian or vegan food tour. Anywhere you go, the food is going to be awesome. Let's start out with the list of places that I went. New Orleans cuisine is savory. You got all the Creole and Cajun seasonings. Dishes you cannot miss are the gumbo. You've got to try the po' boys. Yes, there are vegetarian ones. Everything I'm saying here, you can get a vegetarian version of. Red beans and rice, jambalaya, fried green tomatoes. For the desserts, you have the beignets, bananas Foster, king cakes. I'm just reminiscent of all the food. There is a vegan soul food spot. It's called Sweet Soul Food. I went there and it was very delicious. When I went, I was not able to eat inside. It was a while ago and it was pouring down rain, but I had that as my first stop. I had greens, yams, vegan mac and cheese. Usually I'm not a fan of vegan mac and cheese. This one was pretty tasty. And I think that is the cauliflower there. Sweet Soul Food is Black owned, you feel me? Daisy Dukes. I don't remember who told me this, but they said if you go early in the morning, you can get like a really cheap breakfast. And I'm talking about $5 or below. So I went, look at the menu, and here we are. They have it where you can get eggs however you like, hash browns. Here I had a biscuit and grits. Here's a tip. When they are offering meat on the plate, especially for breakfast, I just try to sub something out. For example, if it says, oh, it comes with bacon sausage, I'm like, oh, well, can I get grits instead? I was able to try that. I mean, who can beat that budget? $5 for breakfast? Ooh, it was good. You have to go to Daisy Duke. For breakfast, that was my go-to. I know in a lot of the solo travel groups, some of the people say, man, what do you do when you're just sitting by yourself? I couldn't do that. I just get so lonely. And I think it depends on the person. Me, I find it as an adventure. I act like I'm a food reviewer. You can sit at the bar too to alleviate any of the lonesome feelings. And I just enjoy the experience because I'm like, I know I have this full day planned out. I need to start with energy, fuel for the day, and that's by eating, of course. Usually I'm trying to map out my day. I'll check my socials, and then boom, it's time to see the sights. Do I have any tips for eating by yourself? Act like a food reviewer. Everybody goes to Cafe du Monde, I don't know if I'm saying it right, for the beignets. Beignets is like a deep fried fritter. It's topped with powdered sugar, and it's a square shaped pieces of dough. It's best served hot. I really liked it there, that cute cafe. Go in, take your pictures, eat the beignets. They have other options, things for you to get, maybe some coffee and a beignet. It's a great way for your afternoon. I really wish I had tasted more of the desserts, but I was so full from the regular meals that I did not have any room left. I'm coming back and I'm just going to eat food there for real. I had a vegan po' boy sandwich and it was like a soul food po' boy. It had greens, yams. That was very interesting. Morrow's is good. Go there for brunch. Also check out Ruby Slippers. Things I ate, fried green tomatoes. I had the French toast bites. They also have good Indian and Ethiopian restaurants. I would Google those too. Like I said, plenty of options. I even ate good Thai there. Check out Sweet Soul Food, Morrow's, Ruby Slipper Cafe. You can go anywhere to try out the beignets. For Black-owned restaurants, you want to go to Ruby Slipper Cafe, Morrow's, Sweet Soul Food. Ask the locals which one that they consider the best. And these people are very talkative, warm, and friendly. And, you can learn a lot from them. I like interacting with locals. Go to Daisy Dukes for the best budget breakfast, $5 below, and walk after your meals to get that digestion going. My belly was full. How to get around the city is the breeze if you have that Jazzy Pass. As I said before, they have different options depending on how many days you want to get around. Another way to experience the city is to hop on and off the streetcar. You might not know this, but the St. Charles streetcar is the oldest streetcar line in the world. It's still operating to this day. How to take it? Well, like I said, if you have the Jazzy Pass, it's unlimited. I would catch it at the corner of Canal Street and ride it all the way into the Garden District. Man, I'm talking about beautiful views while you are looking at those homes, the construction. It is really amazing to see the French influence, and it is similar to when I visited Haiti. Just seeing the similar buildings is really nice. If you're going to go all the way to the Garden District, it's about a 45-minute trip. So I would say eat your lunch, hop on the trolley and go to Garden district, and then you can walk around there, turn around, and then get back. It's a really enjoyable way to spend an afternoon, especially if the weather is great, not raining. I really enjoyed that trolley. Now, the windows are open. There is no AC. Keep that in mind. Maybe you can bring a fan. I don't know if people travel with the handheld fans. I also like to check out the street art. Here's some pictures that I saw just walking around. A lot of the attractions are within walking distance. So if you're wearing comfortable walking shoes, this is not the time to try on a brand new pair of shoes that you bought to show off. You want to have a broken in shoe. That way your feet are not getting blisters and you're able to walk for long distances. You can rent a bike, Uber, or Lyft. These are all ways for you to get around the city. Stick to well lit areas. If it's quiet and dark, nobody around you, you need to get back to where the action is happening. Okay, you just don't want to disappear. No one knows your whereabouts, right? Stay where there's a lot of people and it's well lit. Whether you're exploring the historic French Quarter, tasting all of the delicious cuisine, whether it's Cajun or Creole, vegetarian delights at that, or cruising along in the streetcar while checking out the shotgun houses, the Creole cottages, New Orleans is a destination for you. You are bound to leave with unforgettable memories and would probably be planning your next trip back. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I want to thank all of you who have watched my previous video on the Amtrak. I really enjoyed reading your comments. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm going to see you next week.